Good morning, students. How you all are? Hope and I believe that you all are fine. In today's class, we are going to start second part of chapter 2, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. In the page number 21, so first of all you take your book behind page number 21. In page number 21, you can see the images of different famous musicians. Okay. So, one small homework I am giving here. You have to identify the images of page number 21. That to which field they belong, which instrument they play, and what is their name. Basically, in today's class, we are going to deal about the life of Bismillah Khan. Whenever I or we say about Shehnai, the first thing that comes to our mind is that auspicious sound that comes normally in the wedding, that too preferably in the North India. It's the one of most heard sound in the marriage time. It's believed that it is very auspicious. The sound is very auspicious. So Bismillah Khan is a very famous musician who used to play Shehnai, and it is believed, it is strongly believed that Bismillah Khan is responsible for bringing this Shehnai to a classical stage. As the whole chapter 2, the sound of music, in the first part we have came to know about one of the famous musicians, Evelyn Glennie, who cannot listen, but still she became a musician. And in today's class and today's chapter, we are going to discuss about a famous and international Indian musician, Bismillah Khan. So we will start our chapter. Students, take page number 21. From there itself we will start the chapter. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reed noisemaker. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. So, story sets back to the period of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was once a person who is not having much interest towards his, music and all. So, what he believed, the pungi was one instrument. He believed that its music, the sound which is produced by it, is not pleasant. Pleasant means बहुत अच्छा नहीं था. And what he believed, that it is a reed noise maker. That means reed means wind instrument which have reed like flute, carillon, etc. So as Aurangzeb believed that the sound which was produced by pungi, he had banned. Banned means from that day onwards, that particular instrument will not be blown or used in his court. So in this way it was banned. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made several holes on the body of pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. So this is how a new instrument came into existence. As Aurangzeb had banned that instrument pungi, so one of the barber or musician family. So basically, this family was involved in the work of barber, but they were also present in the royal court. So they do the both work. At the one time they were barber, and at the same time they were musicians too. So one of the barber, name is not given here, okay, who is that person, but someone from barber's family. He decided that he will make some improvement in this instrument called pungi, so that it will not be bent and it will be used in the king's court. So what he did, he had taken hollow stem. Hollow means khali, kokla, which was more broader and more long than pungi. Then he had made 7 holes. How many holes? 7 holes. So he made 7 holes, and then he tried to open some of the holes, close some of the holes, and at that time it produced a very melodious song. So actually in the last year I had given a question that who had transformed Pungi to a new instrument, and many of students have written Bismillah Khan. So this time I am making it clear that if again I give the same question, the correct answer will not be Bismillah Khan, but it will be a barber. Name is not given in our book and it is not known. So if question is repeating again in your question paper, don't give the answer Bismillah Khan, but make your answer as a barber. Okay. So this is how a new instrument came. That was still earlier it was Pungi and now it was new instrument. But actually there is one mystery. Then why this instrument is called Shehnai? Means ये बहुत ही अच्छी एक स्टोरी है कि ये जो नया इंस्ट्रूमेंट आया था which was modified form of Pungi. Why it was called Shehnai? It's very interesting that we will see in the next paragraph. Okay students, so we will start reading. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in Shah's chamber and was played by a nai, that is barber, the instrument was named Shehnai. So this is how Shehnai came to existence. It was a modified form of instrument called pungi, which was banned by Aurangzeb, but now it was modified, and the modified instrument has to be given some name. So कुछ नाम देना था. So what they did, as that instrument was first played in royal court, that means Shah, SHAH, Shah मतलब royal है ना. So as it was played in royal, so Shah, and as I had said, the musician who developed pungi, he was a barber, that means nai. So together Shah and nai become Shehnai and a new instrument came into existence. So in the first paragraph we had seen that Aurangzeb had banned an instrument called pungi. Then one person from a barber's family had modified this instrument, and as that instrument was first played in royal court, that is Shah, and he himself was a barber, that is Nai, so that instrument became Shehnai. It's very interesting, students. Yes? Paragraph 2. The sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. Auspicious means promising to bring good fortune. That means Shubh, Pavitra. And for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any non-Indian wedding. In the past, the Shehnai was part of Nawabai and traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So as I already said that this instrument earlier, which was pungi, was banned in the king's court, but when its tonal quality was increased, it became a most prestigious 9 instruments in the court. Means प्रिंस के जो रॉयल फैमिली में जो 9 इम्पोर्टेंट म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट थे, उनमें से एक अब शहनाई बन चुका था. एंड एज शहनाई साउंड वाज वेरी मेलोडियस, इट वाज बिलीव्ड दैट दिस साउंड इज वेरी ऑस्पिशियस. ऑस्पिशियस मींस ऑलरेडी वी डिस्कस्ड पवित्र, शुभ, है ना. सो एज इट वाज ऑस्पिशियस, इट वाज ओनली मींस यूज्ड इन द टेंपल्स एंड इन द wedding. So Shehnai was one such instrument which was basically used in temples and royal weddings or normal weddings. But this instrument came to classical stage only and only because of Ustad Bismillah Khan. So now from third paragraph we will start the story of Ustad Bismillah Khan. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to nearby Bihari Ji temple to sing Bhojpuri Chat. Chat means bhajan. In the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg. A prize given by local Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and a little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. The paragraph 3 is an important paragraph of this chapter because we can say that the paragraph 3 is synopsis for whole chapter. Synopsis means अगर पूरे चैप्टर को हमको 2 या 3 लाइन में एक्सप्लेन करना होगा, so paragraph 3 is sufficient. So basically in this chapter we are going to learn Ustad Bismillah Khan's life story. As in this paragraph you can get one quality of Ustad Bismillah Khan. Ustad Bismillah Khan belonged to a non-Hindu Muslim family, but in this paragraph you can see that when he was just 5 years old, and basically in 5 to 8 years old even the students or you also used to play different game. So the author is saying that at the 5 years old when he used to play gilli danda, means the author had said he used to play gilli danda. He is saying this because at that point of time our Ustad Bismillah Khan is not going to school, but anyhow he was very good in the music, and although he belonged to a non-Hindu family, but still he used to go to a Biharji temple to sing the bhajan. And what motivated him to go there? It was a laddu which weighed, it weighted 1.25 kg. It was when he was just 5 years old, and when he was 80 years old, when this boy was 80 years old, he received biggest award in India, Bharat Ratna. So from this paragraph we can understand that this chapter is story that how a boy had made his journey from receiving laddu which was weighed 1.25 kg to the biggest biggest award Bharat Ratna. Means एक बच्चे की कहानी जो एक टाइम बहुत खुश होता था जब उसको एक लड्डू मिलता था, and in future when he was 80 years he got the biggest award and it was Bharat Ratna. So the story will start from when he was 5 years old till he was receiving the highest award, that is Bharat Ratna. Paragraph 4. Born on 21 March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather Rasul Baksh Khan was Shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpur King's court. His father Paigambar Baksh and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. So from this paragraph you can understand that Ustad Bismillah Khan's whole family, in this paragraph we are talking about his paternal family. Paternal family means उसके पापा की साइड की जो फैमिली थी, the whole paternal family members were great musicians in the king's court. So we can say that Ustad Bismillah Khan received this music, this Shehnai in his blood. From birth itself, Bismillah Khan was a musician. The music was in his blood. As we have seen that his paternal father, grandfather and everyone was a great musician. So from very beginning, Ustad Bismillah Khan also learned music. Paragraph 5. The young boy took to music early in life. As at the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi. Bismillah Khan was fascinated watching his uncles practicing the Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh to Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baksh was employed to play Shehnai. So here can see that in the previous paragraph we had seen that Bismillah Khan's paternal side, they were great musicians. But in next paragraph we can see that even his maternal means उसकी मम्मी की side का family, even they were good musicians. And from very young age he started to attend the lessons of music from his maternal uncle. As he used to go to the Biharji temple, in the same way, even he used to go to the temple of Banaras with his uncle to play the music. So here you can see that this boy is one person who is very much religious tolerant, who is not taking any religion as a barrier for him. The Shehnai was one such instrument which was mostly played in temples, but still this boy fascinated, very much interested and feel pleasure in playing Shehnai. So this was one of the positive and best thing that you can learn from his life. In the current time when we have so much conflicts and riots between Hindu and Muslim, we have to take the example of Ustad Bismillah Khan, who belonged to a non-Hindu family, but still he gave most respect to the temples and he used to play in temple. We will continue with paragraph 5. Ali Baksh would play Shehnai and Bismillah would sit, captivated for hours on end. Captivated means captured. Means जैसे कि आप भी कई बार टीवी देखते हो तो आप captivated हो जाते हैं. That means you feel that you should not move from this place and you should watch the TV for a long hour. So in this way, Bismillah Khan was captivated towards music. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangla Maiya and banks of Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he would practice in solitude. Apprentice means practice karna, है ना? So as he was in the practicing time, so you can see here, most of the time he used to spend in the Balaji and Manglamai temple and in the sacred banks of river Ganga. So although he belonged to a non-Hindu family, but you can see that he is paying due respect to all the temples and the sacred river Ganga. It was a place where he started the early lessons of music. The flowing water of Ganga inspired him to improve and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of Shehnai. So Bismillah Khan used to say that he believes that he became a proficient Shehnai player. It was only because of banks of river Ganga. Because he used to sit there in solitude. Solitude means ekant mein, akele, है ना? He used to sit there and he used to practice there for long hours. And as I have already said that Shehnai was one such instrument which was having only 7 holes. Only 7 holes. So it was believed that it was not possible to play all the ragas in Shehnai, as there was some barrier and there were only 7 holes. But Ustad Bismillah Khan proved wrong this kind of conception. He started playing such rag in Shehnai, which was earlier believed that with Shehnai such rags cannot be played. So you can see that how a little boy, by sitting in front of temple and sacred banks of sacred river Ganga, he started playing such rags which were earlier impossible or believed impossible by the great musician. Paragraph 6. At the age of 14, Bismillah Khan accompanied his uncle to Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of recital, Ustad Faiz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938, came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. So, as we had seen in Eveline's case, then percussionist Ron Fox, he was a musician and he understood that this girl is having capability and she will become a very good musician, and he started giving lessons to her. In the same way, once Bismillah Khan went to a musical concert with his uncle. At that time, one of the greatest musicians of that time, Faiz Khan, by when he listened that how beautifully or how beautiful, how melodious Bismillah Khan had played Shehnai, he came, he patted on his head. Patted मतलब प्यार से जब हल्का सा टच करना है ना, very he patted with his hand and said that very soon you are going to capture the whole world, because Faiz Khan had understood that this boy is having a lot more potential and he will develop and he will become one of the musicians, one of the great musicians of the world. And it was in its early stages. And in Lucknow, when All India radio station opened in 1938, it became a very good platform for Ustad Bismillah Khan. So means उस time में TV तो था नहीं, so लोग normally radio सुना करते थे. And when the people listened Ustad Bismillah Khan Shehnai in radio, they all became very much crazy for him. So from that moment, Bismillah Khan became a very remarkable figure. Everyone wanted to listen Ustad Bismillah Khan's Shehnai in radio. So we can say that this opening of All India radio station in Lucknow, it had presented a very big platform for our Ustad Bismillah Khan's music. His music got recognition only after the when he played in All India radio station. We will start paragraph 7. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He poured his heart out in Raag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech. So first we had seen that one of the biggest platform which Ustad Bismillah Khan got, it was opening of All India radio station. Now you can say that 1947, 15th August, when we all got independence, it was a very big movement for all of us. It was very proud moment for all of us. So on that moment, when the national flag was hoisted on in Red Fort, the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he had given his most almost listened speech, that is Tryst with Destiny. At that time, the opportunity to welcome all Indians, Prime Minister, everyone, this opportunity was given to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So this is a very important question, that who had got the opportunity to greet all Indians when we got independence. So the answer will be, it will be Ustad Bismillah Khan. He got the chance to play Shehnai on 15th August 1947 when we got independence. Our national flag was to be hoisted. So it was a very big opportunity which was given to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Paragraph 8. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was taken in by Maestro, that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The King of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at Shehnai festival that he named film after his instrument called Gunj Uthi Shehnai. So as before starting our chapter itself, I had said that Bismillah Khan, he was an international figure. He had given his performance all over the world. So his first international performance, his first international performance was in the court of King of Afghanistan. His first international concert was in the court of in the King of Afghanistan, and where after listening to Ustad Bismillah Khan, the king was very much fascinated and he had given a number of presents. He had honored Bismillah Khan like anything. He had given the precious stones, carpets and everything. It was, we cannot say that it was the only the place Afghanistan where Ustad Bismillah Khan got recognition. But you will see that in different parts of world, he was called for his presentation and he was given due respect. Basically, when we talk about the singers, we only think about the singers who are playing in the film industry, because we normally listen to the songs which come in the film or which have some background related to the film. So one of the famous directors of that time, Vijay Bhatt, he was so much fascinated, impressed by Ustad Bismillah Khan that he named one of his film because of Bismillah Khan, and it was said Gunj Uthi Shehnai. Gunj Uthi Shehnai. So it was one of the first break which was given to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So this is not the end of the journey of Bismillah Khan. In the coming parts, you will see so many things which is very interesting in Bismillah Khan's life. So students, I think for this class, this much is sufficient. The other paragraphs of this chapter that we can deal in our next class. In our next class, we will finish this chapter. We will discuss the question answers too. So by the time I am giving two homework. One homework is that you have to read the complete chapter, and second homework is that you have to write the word meanings of this chapter in your class copy. Okay students, thank you.